I had a dream about something towards as we were entering 2022, when I spoke about prophetic perspectives of our time. And I had this dream, and in this dream I was like in a bank, and there were people that I knew, but there was like chaos in banks, and I was seeing things like inflation, and people had money, but somehow they couldn't bank, and those that had it inside, they couldn't withdraw it. And I was seeing lots of things coming, I was seeing banks thinking of digital currencies. At the same time, I was feeling this sense of like there is an inflation coming. And for some of you who are taking back children to school, you've already started to see these things happening.
It's a politically sensitive year for China, and confidence in the financial sector has plunged. A few months ago, 4 rural lenders in the northern province of Henan froze the deposits of hundreds of thousands of customers. State regulators have finally announced a second round of repayments to some of those account holders from next week. But as Patrick Falk reports from Beijing, this isn't the only banking crisis causing social unease.
For weeks, there'd been pockets of demonstrations. Then, one Sunday earlier this month, hundreds gathered in Zhengzhou, the capital of Henan province, demanding compensation. For months, they've been frozen out of their bank accounts with 4 rural lenders. Before long, thousands of security personnel appeared to suppress the protesters.
They'd rush over by the hundreds, grab somebody and beat them and kick them, regardless of whether it was men, women, the elderly or children, even people with disabilities.
Comparison of inflation rates for every country in the world. We previously looked at 10 specific countries, but I got a lot of comments asking about inflation rates elsewhere. The requests I received are highlighted in black, while the nations we previously looked at are in grey. Generally, we can see that inflation is high across the globe. Over 95% of countries have inflation over 2%, which is the inflation target for many developed countries. The USA and the United Kingdom are in the upper middle of the list, which is somewhat unusual as we've seen very low inflation here for years. 58 countries have double-digit inflation, meaning the general price level is over 10% higher than it was 1 year ago. As we move to the top of the list, we can see Ukraine and Russia both have prices much higher than last year. Into the top 20, and the percentages start to rise very quickly. A potentially surprising one is Turkey at 70% inflation, which we discussed in the previous video, while the list is topped by Venezuela with 222% inflation. Like and subscribe for more.